Hi, good people. Today, I want to speak about coffee. I want to speak about coffee as a national cash crop. Because coffee is not only grown in the central mountains, but is a national crop grown in the Rift Valley, in the pockets of Baringo, Kipkelion, some areas of Marakwet, some areas of western in Kabuchai, Mount Elgon, and even in Ukambani, in Machakos Wote. But when I look at the way we deal with coffee in Kenya, and by the way, it's the only crop that can be sold to bring fresh dollars on a weekly basis in this country. Yet we are complaining that we have less dollars in this country, and I'm sure you know the burden we have. However, I can confidently say, as a coffee farmer, as a coffee-based media person, I have dwelled on coffee even when I was in the media for the longest time I can remember. There is no goodwill in this Kenya Kwanza government on matters coffee. In fact, the advisors that advises President Ruto on his political planning, they tell him that if he works positively to support or reinforce coffee farming in Kenya, he's actually going to be empowering the people of the central Kenya mountain. And therefore, there's a lot of politics that have been playing to make sure that we sabotage the sector. Allow me to call it sabotage, because I cannot understand how a bill that has been in the Senate, brought to the National Assembly, took over 7 months as a government bill through the Committee of Agriculture, is still yet to be finalized back in the Senate. The majority leader in the Senate doesn't seem to be in a hurry to sort out the coffee bill that is stuck up there. Slightly before Christmas, I think it was on the 17th or 16th of December, some of us who come from the coffee growing areas, we spent a lot of time, all the way up to the night, making sure that the coffee bill amendments have been passed or dropped so that we can allow the bill to go back to the Senate. It was our hope that once Senate resumes in January, that will be their priority bill. But that has not happened. As we speak today, the Senate is very busy whipping out members out of committees, irrespective of the needs of the coffee farmers. They can spend 2 weeks dealing with their personal issues of committees, yet the bill has been pending. There is no goodwill from this government to sort out coffee sector and to actually revamp the sector. Allow me to substantiate. When the president goes on record and promises something for the coffee farmer, I believe it will be good manners for those who assist the president to make sure that whatever he promises is fulfilled. The president promised to make sure that he fills up the kitty, the Coffee Advance Cherry Fund kitty for the farmers, where farmers borrow and they pay back after they are paid and sold their coffee. The president has spoken about that a million times, but it has never happened. In fact, we are told the only money that was available, that was put for the Cherry Fund, was put in an account that the money was used to buy treasury bills, and it has actually given interest of 181 million. Remember, this money was supposed to be put in an account where farmers can access through KPCU, borrow, and return. The only money that was put to be available for farmers borrowing was 500 million. The rest of the money, 2.5 billion, it was put in a commercial bank. Why would a government do that, honestly? Are treasury bills more important than the coffee farmers? And who is going to enjoy the 181 million interests therein? There is no goodwill from the government to support coffee sector. The president is on record. He promised he's going to pay our coffee debts. You know, every other cooperative society is crumbling because of debts. Some debts are banks related, suppliers related, and government related. The same period, he promised to pay coffee farmers' bills, debts. He also promised to bail out sugar farmers. Did he bail out sugar farmers? Yes. Coffee farmers needed about 60 billion shillings to pay their debts. Sugar farmers needed 117 billion to revamp the sector. He delivered for the sugar farmers. He's yet to make an attempt to deliver for the coffee farmers. And remember, coffee farmers, especially from the mountain, voted for President William Ruto. So there is no goodwill. There is no goodwill because the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury and Economic Planning, the Honorable John Bandi, went ahead on the 23rd of December and passed a gazette notice to deduct more money from coffee brokers and exact more charges for the membership of Kenya Coffee Capital Market Authority, CMA. So all the brokers who are selling our coffee will not only be charged their annual fees to join the CMA through the national and also the National Coffee Exchange, Nairobi Coffee Exchange, NCE, but they're also going to be charged per transaction. That is to mean every time the brokers attend the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, that is the auction, to sell your coffee, for every transaction, they will pay a certain amount of percentage based on the total sales. Please remember, the coffee bill that we passed in the National Assembly awaiting passage at the National Senate exalted the same charges for people across the value chain of coffee. We introduced even new authorities like the Coffee Board of Kenya. We brought back the CRF, the Coffee Research Foundation, all which we expect to be sustained through certain percentages of the coffee sales from the farmer. Badi, without reading the bill, went ahead and introduced new levies and actually put them in the Kenya Gazette on the 23rd of December when every one of us was busy during Christmas. Now, this Kenya Gazette is saying brokers are supposed to pay a fee of 1% per every transaction of whatever they sell. Coffee exchange fees of 0.3%, direct settlement system provider fees of 0.3%, Capital Market Authority statutory fee of 0.2%. That's a total of 1.8% of the farmer's coffee sale will be paid by the broker. Come on, guys. This is to mean farmers' money is going to be reduced. I don't know who advised Bandi, but I'm sure he didn't do this alone. He must have been cleared by his boss to do this. He just can't do this alone. So as we speak, coffee bill is coming with new levies introduced thereinto. Remember that the levies are coming from county government all the way to the auction. And then your minister in charge of treasury introduces new levies. Is there really goodwill from the government of Kenya to promote coffee sector in Kenya? Hell no. And that is why some of us speak the way we speak. We are elected by farmers. We must speak for the farmers. Join me in my next episode as I break down the levies introduced by the Cabinet Secretary on the 23rd of December 2024. See you then.